Welcome, friends. Here's one from Edison, New Jersey, and it's another Sopranos filming location. This is southbound Route 1 just before crossing over the Donald Goodkind Bridge, heading out of Edison and into New Brunswick, and this is where a pivotal scene in Season 1 takes place. Just after Crooked Cop, an all-around piece of shit, Vin Makazian is arrested at the brothel. He ends up here stuck in gridlock traffic on the highway. You see the southbound 1 sign just behind the guardrail? If you look directly to the left of that, on the actual shoulder of the road, there is a joint in the pavement with the word "Stop" written on our side just in front of it. It's at that joint on the shoulder, where Makazian's car would have been stuck waiting during the start of the scene. You can also see where the highway guardrail meets the railing of the bridge, and still to this day, that 27.90 mile marker that was visible in the scene is still here at the bridge entrance. Eventually, we see Makazian flash his badge and the traffic cop allows him to pass through. Now, if you've seen the show, spoiler alert, you know he's actually at the end of his rope right here. And when he gets to the middle of the bridge, he ends it all by jumping off, which unfortunately is all too common on high-up bridges like this. So the New Jersey Department of Human Services has installed these crisis signs to try to help prevent that. But Makazian does follow through, and we, as the viewer, see this happen from the top of the bridge when he steps out of his car. And we also get a shot of it looking up from down below at water level. Those two vantage points of the jump are at slightly different physical locations on the bridge, and we'll take note of those as we go. And just to give you some reference geographically, this bridge is crossing over the Raritan River, which at 69 miles long is the longest river located entirely within the state of New Jersey. Its main stem starts up in Morris County in north-central New Jersey, about an hour away from here, then flows south and then east as it makes its way through this area, and then eventually empties out into Raritan Bay, on the far side of Staten Island before finally reaching the Atlantic Ocean. Some would even say this river is the unofficial divider between what makes up North and Central New Jersey. The direction we've been facing is heading south out of North Jersey. And now we're going to look back toward the north because this giant light pole is going to be our mark. Okay, so this is going to be the approximate spot. You see those posts that hold the railing in place to the left? We have to be about 5 or 6 of those posts away from the giant light pole to get the proper vantage point. 5 to 6 posts away from that, but when looking further across the bridge, we're about 30 away maybe. Point is, we're a lot closer to this one. Makazian pulls up, and there is a road sign mounted between posts 5 and 6. He grabs hold of that sign to pull himself up, puts the badge in his front pocket, and down he goes. It's actually over 100 feet down to the river below, so the show is most likely correct in that he does not survive this fall. Now, as we're hanging over, you can see some brick buildings on the river's edge. Those buildings make up the Valley Manor apartments in Edison, New Jersey. And other than a different roof color, all of the buildings that make up the complex still look basically the same now as they did over 25 years ago when the show was filmed in 1998. Same facade color, same window placement, same design and structure. So over here, we're going to zoom our view in of a little area that's clear of trees that has a white fence blocking access to the river. That's the approximate spot of the shot from the river facing up at Makazian as he jumps. And that's where the next spot we're going to check out is. So, as we make our way to that spot, a little history lesson on this crossing. When it was decided to build a bridge over the river, it was originally done with one span in 1929. A concrete arch structure designed by New Jersey Highway Department engineer Donald Goodkind. That's the span in the back from this vantage point. In 1966, the New Jersey Highway Department became the Department of Transportation, an agency that would employ Morris's son Donald, who, like his father, also became an engineer. As population and traffic increased in this area, a second span was commissioned and was built in 1974. This second span was designed by Donald, who intentionally constructed his bridge to best preserve the view of his father's Art Deco arch design, a popular style of architecture in the 1920s and 30s. At that time of the second span, the original arch began exclusively carrying northbound traffic, and the new span became southbound. Each bridge was eventually renamed for its chief architect, first for Morris in 1969, and then for Donald in 2004. So, if we go back to the Sopranos episode, Remember from the Top, we noticed the mounted road sign was much closer to one of the light poles. In the shot taken from down here, you can see the mounted road sign is now about halfway between those poles, which gives everything a much more symmetrical look to the fall from this angle, but is obviously not properly in line with the shot from above. And other than the mounted road sign, this view is basically unchanged 25 years later, and that's including the towers in the distance and also that bridge about a mile further downriver, which is still carrying all manner of asshole up and down the New Jersey Turnpike. One other quick note, there was a scene in an earlier episode when Makazian first tells Tony about Big Pussy Bompancero being wired for sound. That scene was filmed on the opposite side of the bridges from the fall shot, just east of Route 1, down by the docks at the Raritan River Boat Club. That's private property, and unfortunately I couldn't get any current videos to compare against this scene, but in it you can clearly see the Morris Goodkind structure in the background as Makazian metaphorically kicks Tony right in his fucking nutsack. Alright y'all, that's all for now. Grab a bite to eat and go shopping in New Brunswick and Edison when you come through. Buy local stuff. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, and I will see yous on the next one.